Sri Lanka has been through a protracted conflict. For nearly 30 years, areas of the north especially were badly affected by periods of intense fighting in which landmines and other weapons of war were used. As a result, there are thousands of war-injured and disabled among the people. Available data records over 1,300 civilian landmine victims alone. The actual figure could be many times more than this. Scaled-up demining efforts by the government and other agencies are making sure that the environment is safe for people to return to their villages. But there is always the possibility that the surrounding land and jungles are still contaminated, as 10-year-old Vijay found out when he stepped on a landmine in January 2010. He was gathering firewood with others from the community. Less than a year later, and fitted with an artificial limb, he has been able to return to school and bravely face the future among his peers. But this is just the first step in a long and difficult process of recovery for mine victims. UNICEF has placed a pivotal role in Sri Lanka's mine action program since its inception, working in the areas of mine risk education, victim assistance and advocacy. The objectives of the program are to provide affected communities with appropriate knowledge to protect themselves from the dangers of landmines and explosive remnants of war, and to support rehabilitative services to survivors and other persons with disabilities. The project also aims at advocating the government of Sri Lanka to accede to the Anti-Personnel Landmine Convention and related legal instruments. UNICEF-supported mine risk education is being conducted in 8 districts of Sri Lanka, in villages, schools, IDP camps and transit sites. Since October 2008, more than 520,000 people have been reached with MRE messages. As a result of the emergency MRE campaign launched in November 2009, the number of MRE facilitators among NGO partners has doubled. Training has also been provided to the humanitarian demining unit, police officers and Ministry of Education staff. New materials for children have been developed and field tested for inclusion in the national curriculum of 2011 onwards. Displaced communities of the north and east are now back in their homes and villages and attempting to rebuild their lives and livelihoods. Although demining teams have prioritized and cleared residential and agricultural land, there is always the possibility that landmines and explosive remnants of war remain in the surrounding areas. UNICEF and partners must therefore ensure that MRE is ongoing and that demining capacity is boosted. Victim assistance in mine action supports war-injured and disabled persons, including mine and explosive remnants of war casualties. It addresses 5 main areas of activity that aim to meet the immediate and long-term needs of landmine and ERW victims, their families and communities. Landmines not only debilitate their victims, but also place a massive emotional and financial strain on their families. Care for a survivor of a mine-related accident or war injury is a lifelong process and involves not only physical but psychological rehabilitation as well. Even after rehabilitation work is over, survivors need assistance to engage in their livelihoods again in order to earn income to support themselves and their families. UNICEF is also assisting the government and other organizations to provide capacity building and develop a victim assistance policy framework for Sri Lanka. Advocacy in mine action involves urging governments to become state parties to several international conventions, including the Ottawa Treaty, which bans the use of anti-personnel landmines. UNICEF provided support to the Landmine Ban Advocacy Forum in Sri Lanka until the end of 2007. Since then, it has supported the revival of the process through a new partnership with the Small Arms South Asia Network. Mine action advocacy in Sri Lanka also includes efforts to ban illicit small arms, especially the trap gun, which is another deadly weapon responsible for hundreds of injuries and many deaths each year. Despite always supporting the Ottawa Treaty and the worldwide campaign to ban the use of landmines, the Sri Lanka government has not yet acceded to it. Now, however, with the military defeat of the LTTE and the end of war, there is a need to step up advocacy in the country, and UNICEF is actively supporting these efforts.
There is no guarantee 100% that
Sri Lanka's Mine Action program has been largely successful in the 6 years it has been active. But increased commitment is required by the state and other stakeholders to recognize the long-term nature of the landmine issue and to work towards addressing it. UNICEF is committed to supporting these efforts for the benefit of all Sri Lankans.